If we had to go back in time to another civilization because our current Earth was becoming uninhabitable, I think our best option would be classical Greece. Now, why classical Greece, you ask? Well, there are many reasons for which classical Greece is our best option. Let's start with the 5 features of civilization. Specialized workers. Because Greece had many of the jobs that we currently have today, it would be an easy transition for the human race to move to classical Greece. Some of the jobs back then included farming, obviously, being a merchant, being an artisan or an architect to create pretty structures, or being an athlete who competed in the Olympic Games. Most of the hard work was handed down to slaves. Complex institutions. Classical Greece's main religion was Greek mythology. They believed in 12 main gods and many other minor gods, who all controlled the different forces of nature, such as water, earth, the sky, and etc. Greece, like us, had a direct democracy, but only males could vote, as women had very little power back then. Students learned about math, poetry, history, music, grammar, and art. All of the subjects we are taught today were present in classical Greece, except for science. School and government today are very similar to Greece's back then, which would allow for a much easier transition to the past. Record keeping. No need to worry about record keeping, as Greece practically invented the term history. The word history actually comes from the Greek historia, meaning knowledge gained from inquiry. The Greeks all wrote down their laws, their legal transactions, and also wrote poems and books, just like we do today. Advanced technology. Some inventions of the ancient Greek include the watermill, the screw, the gear, the water clock, the Torsian catapult, and a chart to find prime numbers. Greeks also developed math to a very advanced state so that they could build better structures and weapons. Advanced cities. Some of the most well-known cities in classical Greece were Sparta, Athens, Corinth, Megara, and Auros. The 2 most powerful cities were Athens and Sparta. Athens followed after their patron goddess Athena and made great education systems, while Sparta focused on their military strength. Now that you've learned about Greece's 5 features of civilization, let's go on to their way of life. Way of life: the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. Most of Greece's cities had a direct democracy, and many schools that valued all children's education. This is very similar to our current day system, which would help us or them adapt to the different culture. Also, they were very advanced in math and in record keeping. Though bad. In classical Greece, it was very important whether or not you were a man or a woman. If you were a woman, you couldn't participate in government and the majority of jobs. Also, you couldn't act or play sports. Lives of women in ancient Greece had to do mostly with domestic work. The ugly. During this time, it was not only accepted, it was an honor and a sign of wealth to have slaves. Now, if we went back in time, it would be hard to tell them it was wrong. This is one of the 2 major problems in Greece, which are women being treated unfairly and slaves. So why choose Greece? Classical Greece may be sexist and racist. They still have great education systems and governments that are very similar to ours today. If we had to move to any ancient civilization, I think classical Greece is definitely the best choice.